Assalamu alaikum. My name is Rimsha Rafiq and I'm from Department of BS Biotechnology. Today I'm going to discuss about Stephen Hawking's theory on black hole. Before starting, I'd like to tell you about Stephen Hawking. Stephen William Hawking was an English theoretical physicist, cosmologist, and author who was director of research at the Center for Theoretical Cosmology at the University of Cambridge. Hawking was born in Oxford into a family of doctors. He began his university education at University College, Oxford, where he received a first-class BA Honours degree in physics. During this period, in 1963, Hawking was diagnosed motor neuron disease that gradually paralyzed him over the decades. Hawking's scientific work included a collaboration with Roger Penrose on gravitational singularity theorems in the framework of general relativity and the theoretical prediction that black hole emits radiation, often called Hawking radiation. His book, A Brief History of Time, appeared on the Sunday Times bestseller list for a record-breaking 237 weeks. Hawking was a Fellow of the Royal Society, a lifetime member of a Pontifical Academy of Sciences, and a recipient of the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the highest civilian award in the United States. During his Oxford years, Hawking was diagnosed with an early-onset, slow-progressing form of motor neuron disease, also known as amyotrophic lateral sclerosis or Lou Gehrig's disease, that gradually paralyzed him over the decades. After the loss of his speech, he was able to communicate through a speech-generating device, initially through a use of handled switch and eventually by using single cheek muscle. Amyotrophic lateral sclerosis has following symptoms such as clumsiness, difficulty standing, difficulty swallowing, difficulty speaking, atrophy of tongue, etc. In the initial days of space research, it was believed that black holes were space objects into which things could go but never leave. However, this all changed in 1947, when Stephen Hawking proposed a groundbreaking theory regarding a special kind of radiation which later became known as Hawking radiation. Stephen Hawking is most famously known for his theoretical prediction of Hawking radiation. That being said, what exactly is Hawking radiation? In order to understand this phenomenon, it's imperative to have a basic understanding of black holes. When a massive star dies, it leaves a small but dense remnant core in its wake. If the mass of the core is more than roughly 3 times the mass of the Sun, the force of gravity overwhelms all other forces and black hole is formed. A black hole is not just empty space. In fact, it's a great deal of space packed into a very small area. Think of a star that is 10 times more massive than ours, being squeezed into a sphere with a diameter equal to the size of New York City. The result is a celestial object whose gravitational field is so strong that nothing, not even light, can escape it. This is how black holes earn their name, because they are pitch black. Theory of general relativity predicts that a sufficiently compact mass can deform space-time to form a black hole. In many ways, a black hole acts like an ideal black body, as it reflects no light. If we imagine the space-time as a rubber sheet, then any mass would produce drippings in it. In the rubber sheet blanket model, the Earth is sitting on a rubber blanket. As other objects come near the Earth, their path is modified by the impression Earth is making on the blanket. This shows the curvature of space-time. We of course must realize there is no rubber blanket in space. Einstein was using it as a metaphor to explain the effects of relativity and gravity. Since black holes produce very strong gravity, space-time is significantly wrapped around them. We see strong light bending and gravitational redshift. The Schwarzschild radius of an object of mass m is given by the following formula, in which g is the universal gravitational constant and c is the speed of light. For any mass, there is smallest radius beyond which the object becomes a black hole. This smallest radius is called Schwarzschild radius. According to Hawking, This defines the size of a black hole, and it depends on the mass only. Anything smaller than its corresponding Schwarzschild radius becomes a black hole. As all known stars rotate and realistic collision have non-zero angular momentum, it is expected that all black holes in nature are rotating black holes. A rotating black hole is a black hole that possesses angular momentum. In particular, it rotates about one of its axes of symmetry. Schwarzschild black hole, otherwise known as static black hole, does not rotate and has no electric charge. It is characterized solely by its mass. In the center of black hole is a gravitational singularity, a one-dimensional point which contains a huge mass in an infinitely small space, where density and gravity becomes infinite and space-time curves infinitely, and laws of physics as we know them cease to operate. The event horizon of black hole is linked to the object's escape velocity, the speed that one would need to exceed to escape the black hole's gravitational pull. The event horizon is the threshold around the black hole where the escape velocity surpasses the speed of light. The no-hair theorem states that all black hole solutions of Einstein-Maxwell equations of gravitation and electromagnetism in general relativity can be completely characterized by only three extremely observable classical parameters. These parameters are mass, electric charge, and angular momentum. In general relativity, a naked singularity is a hypothetical gravitational singularity without an event horizon. In a black hole, the singularity is completely enclosed by a boundary known as the event horizon, inside which the gravitational force of the singularity is so strong that light cannot escape. Mathematically, singularity can exist, but physical consideration suggests cosmic censorship. According to Roger Penrose, all singularities are enclosed. Hawking bet on cosmic censorship and conceded defeat in a famous bet he made 6 years ago on a matter of cosmic significance. The bet he made with two professors at the California Institute of Technology was that naked singularities could not exist, and now it seems they could. Arrow of time, also called time's arrow, is a concept positing the one-way direction or asymmetry of time. It was developed in 1927 by the British astrophysicist Arthur Eddington and is an unsolved general physics question. Black hole thermodynamics is the area of study that seeks to reconcile the laws of thermodynamics with the existence of black hole event horizons. In 1973, Burdeen, Carter, and Hawking formulated the four laws of black hole physics, analogous to the four laws of thermodynamics, according to which the total surface area of black holes is always the same or greater than before. When we throw matter into a black hole or allow two black holes to merge, the total area of the event horizon will never decrease. Hawking's area theorem is a fundamental result in a black hole theory that is universally associated with the null energy condition. If matter satisfies the null energy condition, the area of black hole event horizon can never decrease. If an object has non-zero entropy, then it has a temperature and it must radiate. At first, Hawking himself could not accept this implication. General relativity and quantum mechanics are two major achievements of 20th century physics. General relativity deals with very large, while quantum mechanics deal with small. Physics attempted to unify the two. In 1947, Stephen Hawking theoretically discovered that black holes emit thermal radiation and have a characteristic temperature known as the Hawking temperature. The aim of this paper is to present a simple heuristic derivation of the Hawking temperature based on the Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Hawking radiation has a black body spectrum with a temperature T given by following formula, where K is the Boltzmann constant, H is the Planck's constant divided by 2 pi, and G is the surface gravity at the horizon, the Schwarzschild radius. Hawking radiation reduces the mass and rotational energy of black holes and is therefore also known as black hole evaporation. Because of this, black holes that do not gain mass through other means are expected to shrink and ultimately vanish. Small black holes have a large tidal force near the event horizon, and the creation of the real particles is easier. Primordial black holes are a hypothetical type of black hole that formed soon after the Big Bang. In the early universe, high densities and heterogeneous conditions could have led sufficiently dense regions to undergo gravitational collapse, forming black holes. Primordial black holes are non-baryonic and as such are plausible dark matter. Primordial black holes are also good candidates for being the seeds of the supermassive black holes at the center of massive galaxies, as well as of intermediate mass black holes. A black hole with detectable Hawking radiation must be very small, with Schwarzschild radius comparable to atomic nucleus. There is no real observation evidence for the kind of black holes so far. These tiny black holes are called primordial black holes, which is believed to be formed in the very early universe. The emission of Hawking radiation reduces the entropy of black hole. However, the second law of thermodynamics is not violated, since we have to count the entropy of the radiation as well. Hawking radiation suggests that black hole must have a finite temperature. The temperature of black hole is given by following equation. The smaller the black hole, the higher the temperature, and therefore the stronger the Hawking radiation. For the primordial black holes, the temperature is extremely high. Black holes can be detected by their gravitational effect on luminous matter. Some binary star systems contain a black hole, the remnant of a massive star. Many galaxies, including our own, have a supermassive black hole at their center. Improvement in observational astronomy rendered the detection of black holes more than a theoretical speculation. Nowadays, we have found many candidates of black holes. Many of them are X-ray binaries. The birth of our universe may have come from a black hole. It is in fact, and some physics say they could be one and the same. The singularity of every black hole may give birth to a baby universe. There is no reason to think our universe is any different. It's plausible that there is a connection between the birth of our universe and the creation of an extremely massive black hole from a universe that existed before our own. It's plausible that every black hole that has been created in our universe has given rise to a new universe within it. Hawking wrote a book named Black Holes and Baby Universes. Building on his earlier work, Hawking discusses imaginary time, how black holes can give birth to baby universes, and suggests effort to find a complete unified theory that would predict everything in the universe. In conclusion, Hawking's radiation is a purely theoretical and quite a complicated one to prove mathematically. But Stephen Hawking succeeded in figuring it out and was the first person to do so. He was the first person to set out a detailed theory of cosmology explained by merging quantum mechanics and the general theory of relativity. Scientists and cosmologists still don't completely understand how quantum mechanics explain gravity, but Hawking radiation continues to inspire research and provide clues into the nature of gravity and how it relates to the other forces of nature.